Hey everybody, Big Anklevich here, and I'm back for another episode of Big Anklevich on Health. Today we are doing another update on the 30-day Carnivore challenge between me and Marshal Latham. And again, we're not going to waste a whole lot of time, mostly because the update videos are kind of long. Sorry about that. I did shorten it a little bit, but I could only do so much. So yeah, here is some update videos for the next part of our 30-day challenge. Check it out. Okay, it is day 8 and first day of the second week, and I'm doing well. I'm doing good still. This morning, you know what? I had pork rinds today. It was the first time that I've had pork rinds. You know, every now and then you get that kind of need for something crunchy, which, you know, you don't really get much in the carnivore world. Nothing really very crunchy. There's no cereal type thing except for pork rinds. They were pretty good. I can't complain. Had those while I was also cooking my breakfast, which was bacon and eggs. And I put some chorizo, the rest of the chorizo in those eggs. And that was super tasty. Today, I ate them all gone. No problemo. And at work, I had myself some more ground beef for my dinner. Keeping it cheap here, folks, because meat prices are expensive. So it's just the cheapest ground beef. I believe I paid $12 for a 5-pound chub, which is pretty dang good price for meat these days. So that's what I did today, and I'm cruising along. Not having really any issues, just doing this 2 meal a day kind of thing pretty much every day, and it's working like a charm. How are you doing, Marshall, over there?
I'm reporting today for yesterday again. Yesterday, I believe, was day 8 of the Carnivore Challenge, and I stayed home because it's spring break for my kids, and I stayed home yesterday. I'm going to stay home tomorrow to do things with the kids and everybody at the house during spring break. So I'm working Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today I'm at work, but yesterday I slept in. It was nice. Then for breakfast, I had 4 fried eggs and 3 sausage patties. That was a good breakfast. I enjoyed that. And we went for a hike later on that day in the morning. So that was good energy for the hike. After the hike, we decided to go out to lunch for lunch. And that's always a tricky thing when you're doing a diet that's kind of restrictive. You know, you can't go to most places and get just meat. I mean, you can, but you might have to work for it a little bit. We went to a Mexican place called Costa Vida. You might be familiar with it. It's a chain. I think it's a national chain. And so I just got 2 sides of meat. I mean, they put it in a little container together. That I didn't have to have 2 different containers, but I got the shredded beef and the steak strips, whatever the steak was called, grilled steak maybe, I don't know. I thought about also getting the sweet pork, but I wasn't sure, you know, what was mixed in there with the sweet pork. So I just had those 2 sides of meat, and the rest of my family ate whatever they wanted to, a taco salad or a burrito or whatever, and it was fine. They all know what I'm doing, so they were fine with it, and it was a good meal. Maybe I wish I would have got a 3rd meat, because I was still a little bit hungry or wanted to eat more after I had the 2 sides, but that's okay. I was fine, and so that worked out pretty good, I thought. You know, like I said, you can't do that everywhere. You have to really plan ahead and look at their menu. I think people are getting more and more better. Restaurants are getting better at having different portions for different diets. You know, I think they're very well aware of the low carb diets and things like that. So even at a fast food restaurant, I think you can get a hamburger without the bun, kind of thing. So, but I don't know. I don't plan on going to too many fast food places or that kind of thing. We did also go to a movie. I think I told you about that. And that's always tricky because, man, there's a lot of trigger things there. Popcorn, you smell the popcorn. It's, oh, popcorn. I love theater popcorn. That's one of the best reasons to go to the theaters, for the popcorn. But of course, that is not carnivore. That doesn't fit. That doesn't jive with this challenge and what I'm doing. So I brought a little baggie of almonds, and while other people were eating popcorn, I ate almonds. And that was good. I enjoyed, though. I like almonds. I didn't have too many of them, probably more than usual. You know, there's probably more almonds in the bag than I would usually eat as a snack, but it still wasn't an exorbitant amount of almonds. Did I eat anything in the evening? Trying to remember. See, this is why I need to do it at the end of the day instead of the next day. I didn't have anything for dinner. I thought about having a hot dog or something like that. I may have had a piece of cheese. I don't remember. But I didn't have another meal yesterday. So there you go. There's my report, man. I'm doing good.
All right. Well, there you go. Thanks, Marshall, for that report, and we will see you guys again tomorrow. Okay, everybody, it's day 9, and it was another good day. I had bacon and eggs for breakfast, and that was lovely. And later in the day, I had some ground beef for my dinner. I don't know. I'm just kind of cruising along at this point. I'm really loving the motivation that I've got, and once you get going, it's really not that hard because you're always full. You know what I mean? Like when you're full, it's easy to turn stuff down, and that's an important thing to do. And I'm not really losing weight as far as I can tell, but like some long-time carnivores that have had huge success with the carnivore diet, like Kelly Hogan, for example. She said that she went months before she started losing weight. And she actually gained weight for a little while, which, that can be a little disconcerting when you're not wanting to do such a thing or you're trying to change yourself for the better. But you got to rest assured that you are changing yourself for the better. The weight that you're putting on is good weight, not just adding more fat. That's not what you're building when you're eating the proper human diet. And so, I remember seeing a thing where some woman was talking about how she was all worried about how she had gained weight when she did her first, little while on the carnivore diet. But she had done some kind of a body scan or something like that before she started and found that she had seriously low bone density. And then when she was, went back and had that checked again, her bone density was all the way up to normal. So, like carnivore diet was fixing her bones, was filling in her bones with the nutrients or whatever it was that, I don't know what bones do. But, that stuff is important. And I want all the health that I can get out of this. So, filling in the problem spots, fixing the problem spots is more important than losing the fat. I'll get there. I'm going to stick to it and I'll get there. I may sound awful cavalier since it's only been a week, but I really feel like I'm to the point where I could probably stick with this for a long time. Hopefully Marshal Latham's doing the same. Let's head over and see what he's got going on.
Hey everybody, it's me, Marshal Latham here again, talking about the carnivore diet, the 30-day carnivore challenge. Today is day number 9, or actually yesterday was number 9. I'm reporting on that, and of course I'm doing this with Big Anklovich. And so Yesterday wasn't very exciting food-wise. You know, just kind of some of the things I've had before. I had some summer sausage and cheese that I had cut up and had for breakfast. Yeah, this is my buddy over here too. I decided to do the video with him today, so I didn't want to ignore the giant snake in the room. So for lunch, I think I just had some leftover. I had the rest of the slow-cooked pork that I had from last week, and then for dinner, I ended up having some of that ground sausage mixed with cream cheese. I cooked some of that up and had that for dinner, and I might have had a few almonds and a piece of cheese here and there as snacks or with the meals, stuff like that. I didn't end up taking any pictures this time around, mostly because I forgot, but also because, well, I guess I haven't taken pictures of everything I just mentioned, but there, you know, the reason for taking the pictures was kind of to show the different variety of things that I'd be eating on this carnivore diet. And as you know, I've had some conversations with Big, and I think I already mentioned it on another one of these, that there really isn't a lot of variety. I mean, there is if you want to go search for it. You could get all kinds of different meats and organs, you know, livers, kidneys, chicken hearts, that kind of thing. But you know, I'd have to go look for that. I'd have to go find that. And you know, I know that's what a lot of carnivores do. But I'm also trying to be on a budget and conscious of that. And it was interesting. I watched a video where a guy said, you know, do it at the level, the economic level that you can. If you can't afford to go out and get steaks and organs and all this kind of stuff, he says, use bologna and Spam and hot dogs. And I've used a couple of those, or at least hot dogs I've used quite a bit. But anyway, it's not about the variety of things you're eating. It's just, you know, consistently feeding your body the things that it needs. And so I think that's all I was going to talk about today. So, or for day 9. And I'll be back to talk about day 10 tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Marshall. Looking good. We will come back to you guys next time. What's love got to do? Got to do with it. What's love but a second-hand emotion? Okay, everybody. It is day 10. And it's another good day. I was having a craving for crunchy stuff. I think it was because I had those pork rinds the other day. And so on the way to work, I stopped by the grocery store and I grabbed myself these little bags that they have at Aldi of pork rinds, and they're really little. I didn't realize it. I got 2 of them and I scarfed the whole thing of them quickly. They were tiny. I was done with one in no time and done with another one. So I don't know what to say about that. Good chips, anyways. They make you know, when you sometimes you get that kind of urge to have something crunchy, and they take care of that urge. Aside from that, let's see. I had bacon and eggs for breakfast, and for my dinner, I had some ground beef that I had cooked up, and it was good. You know, I get the 70, I think it's 73-27 is the percentage of protein to fat or fat to protein or whatever. Not 70-30, but close enough. But I get that kind, and I save all the fat when it's done. I pour it into the container with the rest of the meat, and so there's all the fat down in there. And I make sure to, you know, dip my meat in the fat down there after I've warmed it up, because it's, you know, it's oil at that point, and I'll dip it in there and eat it, and makes it taste so much better when you do that. Anyways, so that was my day. Let's see how Marshal Latham's doing over there.
I picked this remote location. It's kind of fun for me to find different places to do this report. So this is just on my drive home, a field. There were some farmers working with tractors, but they may be done for the day, I'm not sure. But anyway, I thought this would be fun to do my report here today. So yesterday was I took the day off to spend time with my family for doing, because it was spring break. And so I took the day off. I slept in a little bit, not a lot. Hey, cars. And I was able to, for breakfast, I made scrambled eggs with some bacon crumbles in it and cheese, and that was really good. Later on in the day, my family and I went to a special church service, and on our way home, we decided to go to Dairy Queen for lunch. Well, Dairy Queen and the carnivore diet doesn't seem like a good match, and it's really not. I did decide to eat a couple Dairy Queen hot dogs without the bun, of course, and I could have just went and had a hot dog at home. It would have been better off, but switching hands there. But going home in the car and smelling the French fries, and my family's eating their blizzards and hamburgers or whatever else they got, and I can smell the fries, and it's just like, come on, what am I doing to myself here? And I didn't give in. The fries were being passed back and forth, but I didn't partake of any French fries. So I stayed true to the carnivore challenge. And so that was fun. Not really. Well, it was fine. They say on the carnivore diet you should clear out your pantry, get rid of all carbs, any temptations, any sugars, but it's really not practical to do that when you have a family and they're not on the carnivore diet, but you are. So I did fine. I resisted the temptation. Maybe it's like immunization. My exposure to the temptation and my ability to overcome it anyway makes me stronger. I don't know. Later in the afternoon, those hot dogs didn't do much for me. They weren't very big. And so a little bit later in the afternoon, I had some steak left over, and I was trying to figure out what to do with it. So I cut it up into little strips, and I'm like, hey, there's some pepper jack cheese in the fridge. And so I made what I dubbed to be steak nachos. So I just laid the steak strips out on a plate, covered it with shredded pepper jack cheese, and put it in the microwave and heated it up, melted the cheese, and sat down and had my steak nachos. And that was pretty good. I liked that quite a bit. It was a good flavor to it. I wasn't planning on eating anything else, but I think my wife made tacos for the family to eat, so there was some taco meat, and there was a little bit left over, maybe a little bit more than a cup. And so I said, hey, I can finish off this meat. And so I put a little sour cream in it, a little salsa, and had a little bit of taco meat.
Okay, Marshall. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next time. Hey, everybody. It is day 11, and more good day. More just everything cruising along, going well. Today I had some sausage for my breakfast. We got this sausage at Aldi. It's a spicy sausage. I think it has like jalapenos in it or something, and I'm just gonna say that that's fine. Spices are okay, right? So that's what was in here. I wasn't eating plants. It's just spices. But yeah, it was really tasty. Big old sausage. I put it in the air fryer and made it nice and crispy and hot and yummy, and I ate that for my breakfast. And then later in the day, I think I had ground beef for my dinner. And so that was my food for the day. And yeah, things were just, I don't know, it's just cruising along. I can't complain. And, my blood sugar's coming down. My weight's not coming down, but you know what? That's not the most important thing. Weight is a symptom of poor eating. It is not the cause of anything. The excess fat, my big belly gut rolls that I've got going on, those are, they're not the main problem. I need to get my nutrition under control. Once I've got good nutrition, my body will correct itself. It's what it does. It heals itself. It's amazing. You give yourself a cut and your body will just fix itself. But with a problem like really bad nutrition, you got to give it the building blocks to fix itself. Sometimes I think it's funny when you think about that saying, you are what you eat. You've heard that, I'm sure, since you were young. And, that's, people don't really think about that much, but you really are. Like, what else could you be made of other than what you put in your mouth? It's all, your whole body, and your body replaces itself. I think what they say is that within 7 years, you have an entirely new body. There's like nothing. It's the Ship of Theseus thing from the WandaVision TV show that they had last year. You steadily fix all the pieces until, eventually there's nothing that's the same in your body anymore. And, that's what happens to us by the end of that time. Everything is completely replaced. And what is it replaced with? If you eat all processed foods and garbage and sugar and all that kind of stuff, well, that's what you're replacing your body with. Your bones are going to be made of that, and your muscles and everything is made from whatever your body can get out of that crappy food. But if you eat, human food, if you eat, the proper human diet, then, when it's replaced with better stuff, healthier stuff that feels better to you. You'll feel it. And I guess, thinking about it, it's kind of a long ways off, but I guess you could say this is the start of me rebuilding my body with good stuff. So yeah, in 7 years from now, I'll be all built on carnivore, and that'll be good. Think about somebody like Kelly Hogan or Amber O'Hearn, who've been at it forever. They're 100% built out of that stuff, and that's cool. I'll get there. It'll be a while, I guess, but I'll get there. All right, let's head over and see what Marshal Latham had to deal with today.
Hello, everybody. It's Marshal Latham here again to report on the Carnivore Challenge. Today is day
11
in the Carnivore Challenge that I am doing with Big Anklovich. And day 10 means that we're a third of the way through our 30-day challenge. And that's pretty exciting. I'm happy to be doing this. Been doing pretty good so far. There are so many temptations. I talked about the fries and stuff yesterday, but this morning I go to work and somebody brought in these really good donuts. And so there's like 2 or 3 boxes of donuts. And I'm like, oh man, that sounds pretty good, man. And, and I'm used to partaking of those donuts. And so I didn't. I looked at them and I turned around and walked the other way. I do have to go in the break room there to put my stuff in the fridge or whatever. And yeah, so when I opened the fridge, there's 2 boxes of pizza. So they must have had a party yesterday or something, or somebody ordered a bunch of pizzas because they had leftover pizza. And that's always a bonus, or it used to be. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a piece of pizza. At least that's what my past self would say. Today I did not partake of pizza either, but it's all around, right? all these bad things for you to eat that are common. You know, everybody likes a donut, everybody likes a piece of pizza, but I am choosing at this time to live differently than that, to eat differently than that. I'm not eating the carbs and the crusts and the frosting and all that stuff. I'm doing the carnivore diet for 30 days, and perhaps longer than that. We'll see. So I didn't have a chance. I stayed up late last night, so I came in, or I just had to grab a bunch of stuff at work. I had to grab a bunch of stuff at home on my way out the door to go to work. And so I didn't have time to make anything or really prep anything. I didn't do it last night either, which is a good idea, to prep the night before for what you're going to eat the next day at work. But I didn't do that. So I grabbed 3 hard-boiled eggs out of the fridge. I should have grabbed some sausage patties, but I totally forgot about the sausage patties. But I did grab a couple pieces of jerky and a few almonds. And I also grabbed some cheese and what do you call it? Some summer sausage, and just grabbed a chunk of that. I didn't even cut it up into nice slices. I just grabbed it, cut a chunk off, put it in with everything else, and headed to work. And so I did eat the eggs, the hard-boiled eggs, when I got to work. You know, not right when I got to work, but within the first hour of working, I was able to eat those eggs, which is always interesting to eat at work, because there's always something going on. But I was able to do that, and then, yeah, I did have a little bit later on, I ate the jerky, and throughout the day, I had the few almonds, you know, strung along the day. It was a little bit later that I had lunch, where I ate the cheese and the sausage, and so that was good. I don't know what I'm going to eat tonight. One of the reasons I'm usually a day behind is because I want to wait until the end of the day to give my report, to tell you what I ate in the evening, if I ate anything. But then, you know, I end up going to bed, or, you know, dealing with stuff going on at home, and I don't have time, or I don't remember to record something. So I'm going home tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna eat anything for dinner. I'll probably eat something. My wife was talking about making that whipped cream fluff, or cream cheese fluff thing that I've heard so much about from Big. And so I'll probably have some of that if she's making that up. Just kind of a fun little dessert that is within the carnivore diet. You're having the heavy whipping cream, you're having the cream cheese, and what else is in there? I can't remember. I think she's going to put a little bit of lemon extract in it, just for a little bit of flavor. I don't know if that's a violation or not, but there's something else in there too. But anyway, I'll probably enjoy that and have a little bit of that. We'll see. I'll let you know tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Marshall. Okay, we will see you guys next time. Okay, it is day 12. And Saturday, we did a lot of yard work out in the yard today. We did a lot of just stuff today. Started out the morning, we were putting in sod in an area in my backyard that has been long neglected. And so we picked up a pallet of sod, we brought it home, and we spent the whole morning carrying it back and forth. And how much is it? 3,000 pounds worth of sod? I don't know. They say it can be like 1,500 to 3,000 pounds per pallet. So that was a lot of work. Really tired. Really tired. Once we finished with that, I made myself some bacon and eggs, and I chowed that down. And then we immediately went out to the Bayou City Arts Festival. My daughter's been wanting to go to something like that for a long time, so I took her out there along with the rest of the family, and we walked around. It's already hot here. It was probably 85. Would you shush? And yeah, it's it was rough out there in the sun, and I didn't eat anything. I did have some water while I was there because we did get desperate for that. We tried to stick to the shade as much as possible, but yeah, when I came home, I didn't eat anything else, did I? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I can't remember. It was only a few hours ago. Weird. Anyways, yeah. So that was my day. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling good, and I'm getting along just fine. Let's see how Marshall did.
Hello, everybody. It's Marshal Latham here again to report on the Carnivore challenge that I'm doing with Big Anklovich. I'm reporting on day
12.
And that was yesterday. Day 11, for breakfast, I just had the 4 fried eggs, cooked in bacon grease, of course, and 3 sausage patties. Again, I had that. And then for lunchtime, I don't know. I wasn't too hungry, so I don't know what I ate, if it was around 1 or 2 or something like that. But my wife was asking if there's anything at the store that I wanted her to pick up the other day. I said, why don't you pick up some pork rinds? Because Big had said I should try pork rinds. I've had pork rinds in the past, but it's been a while. So I said, I'll pick up some pork rinds. So she did, and so I made some nachos. I'm into the nacho thing, I guess. Yeah, so I just put a bunch of pork rinds on a plate and put some cheese on top and melted it. And yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. That was pretty good. Something else new that I tried yesterday was some egg and sausage waffles. It's pretty much like a chaffle, which is where you combine eggs and cheese and make a waffle out of it. But this was raw sausage and eggs mixed up, and then you cook it in the waffle iron, and the sausage cooks up while it's in there. And so that was pretty good. I'm just going to switch hands here real quick. I guess I need to get a selfie stick. I thought I'd never, ever say that, but maybe for these videos, it might be helpful. So totally carnivore, no flour, no nothing. So that was good. I forgot to report. So 2 days ago, I did my report, and I said I might have some of that cream cheese fluff. And I did. My wife had made some, put it in a nice little dessert cup thing. And so I did have that, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was interesting because stevia or whatever artificial sweetener that well, it's not artificial. That's actually a natural sweetener. She used that, and you could feel the granules of the stevia. So that was kind of an interesting taste or texture to it. But we could try something else or whatever. But I did have a little bit of that last night as well. There was a little bit left over because my son didn't really want to eat his. He didn't care for it. So I finished off his yesterday. So that's gone, but we'll probably make some more of that in the future.
Okay, so that's Marshall for you today, and that was me. See you next time. Thanks for watching. All right, so there you go. That's how we're doing so far. We're both doing really well, and it's really exciting. It's pretty cool just to be able to get back onto this train for me. You know, I feel so good about myself, and I feel like I could just keep doing this for forever and always. I'm sure there will come a time where I get tempted, because heck, the first time I did it for like 10 months before suddenly I started falling off the cliff. So who knows what may face me down the line. But for now, I'm feeling super good, and I feel like I'm doing super well. And it seems like Marshall's doing really well too. He had some issues, some questions and stuff like that. as you might expect from somebody who's a beginner, but I think he's doing great for where he's at. He's only been at it for a little over a week now, and he's doing really good. First of all, the thing that I would address Marshall with is the cheesecake fluff. He had some of that this week. I don't know. I think I said this last week, but it all depends on what your addictions are, how addicted you are, what kind of willpower you have. I don't know. I was using cheesecake fluff a lot the first time that I tried doing carnivore, and it's not bad. It does ruin the insulin thing because your body doesn't have sugar receptors, as it were. It just tastes the sweet on your tongue, and then it makes insulin to go and counteract that. And so if you're eating stuff that's sweet, but not sweet, basically you're doing diet soda, and it can be trouble. And it can also impede your progress, can slow you down in your progress by eating, erythritol or stevia, which may be the same thing. I can't remember what's what, but all of those artificial sweeteners or alternative sweeteners, as Marshall wanted to call it. Yeah, those things can be trouble. So use them sparingly at the very least, Marshall. Doesn't sound like you're doing otherwise, but just be careful. I'm similar to you in that I have the same problem of the workplace landmines. I work at a TV station, and people are always trying to find some way around paying the TV station for advertising. A lot of times they will send in, food to the station, say, oh, thanks for doing what you do, or whatever. And I think the hope is that, we will then say, hey, thanks to you, Chick-fil-A, for sending in that food to us today. It was really appreciated. Say that on air, and then they just got a free commercial. So I think, that's a pretty common thing. And so all the time we're getting free stuff showing up at work. And these days too, it seems to be somebody's last day all the time. Everybody's partaking in the great resignation. Taking part, I think, is the word I actually meant to say there. But anyways, so there's cake and stuff like that all the time. It's a pain, to tell you the truth. I know exactly how you feel with the donuts. There's donuts pretty frequently where I work too. And the best way to avoid it is just not go to the place where those things are put. Usually every workplace has some sort of a area where things can be put, and okay, this stuff is okay for anyone to have. Whereas if you put something somewhere else, then, people won't just eat it on you. One time at my first station in Sacramento, there was somebody who came in with his lunch, and he set it on the table where you put stuff for people to eat. And then some other guy comes in, he's like, oh, wow, look at this sandwich. This is a nice sandwich. He sits down, he starts eating it. And then the dude walks back in, hey, my sandwich. So, generally that stuff is well known where you can put it. So just don't go to that place. I find, a good thing to do is just, eat when you're not at work. Don't even take food to work. So then you don't even have to go into the break room, where is frequently the place where, the free food is. You can just, you fast during the day. Fill yourself up with meat and then you're good and full, and you'll be fine until you get back home again. If you eat a good, hearty, fatty meat dinner, then yeah, you'll be fine for 8 hours, easy. So that's a suggestion, avoid those places. Don't even walk past them so that you don't have to see that they got another couple boxes full of voodoo donuts for you to have to avoid. The less you have to use your willpower, the less likely you are to run out of willpower. Restaurants are a tough one. Marshall was saying that, he struggled to find something to eat, but they're, like he was saying, they have gotten to the point where they know that, there's lots of low carb diets out there, and they're making things as kind of a, specifically for that. I remember that Carl's Jr. used to have their $6 burger, the low carb $6 burger, which was, the same thing, but with lettuce around it instead of a bun, which was hugely messy. I used to eat that relatively frequently, but what a mess that thing was. The lettuce just doesn't work as a bun. You need chaffles. That's what you need. You need some chaffles if you're going to do that. I hate going to restaurants on Carnivore because they charge a lot more usually for meat than they should, or than I would pay, I guess. Let's put it that way. They put their labor into cooking it for me, so maybe they should charge that much, but I'd just as easy put my labor into cooking it and having it at home, and then I can pay so much less. On occasion, I'll get stuck where I'm hungry or I need some food and I'm out and about. And I find the best way to do it is the old Kelly Hogan thing, and just get myself some meat cookies, some hamburger patties. You can go to pretty much any fast food, burger place these days and just ask for just the quarter-pound patty, and they'll sell it to you. And different places do different things with it, and I've found that even the same, McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, each location has a different thing that they'll do with it. But sometimes I've gotten them for really cheap, where they're giving me them for 99 cents, and I can get, a pound of beef for less than what you would have paid for a quarter-pound hamburger. So that's always fun. Yeah, I hear you, Marshall, talking about almonds again in your thing. I wish I'd watched your videos ahead of time. I've got so far behind on the videos here that, it's way past chance. And I didn't realize that this was something that you were doing, and I could have said something. I should have said something, because I did see, like, whenever that, the first week one, when you said that you had an almond, and I thought, almond? Oh, I should probably say something about that. But I didn't, and, I'm not going to hold it against you. I guess you're an almo carnivore, we'll call it. But yeah, I don't know. They're not animal products, just for anybody else who's watching and wondering. They're not, I don't know where they might come from on the animal, but nope. So I think both weeks now, Marshall has complained about a lack of variety on the Carnivore. And I guess you could see it that way in some cases. I don't really see it that way. I don't see the difference really that much. Like, you make a meal normally, and it's a meat. Like, you'll say, we're having steak and broccoli, or we're having chicken and whatever, pasta or something like that. That's kind of how Americans anyways, and I think a lot of other people, that's how they make their meals. It's meat plus other stuff. And sometimes the other stuff and the meat get mixed all together, and you have, that's your meal. Like, I don't know, spaghetti with the meatballs in it, or like fettuccine Alfredo with chicken in it, or, that kind of stuff, where the other stuff is also the meat mixed in one. But the meat is in everything, like, basically, like, that's kind of the way things go when you're doing a meal. And so saying that you don't have variety just because you can't have I don't think that's legit. You know what I mean? Like, you think it is, but what you're really missing is the carbs. You're like, I don't have variety because I'm not getting jacked with a whole bunch of endorphins when I eat my carbohydrates. And so I don't feel like I'm getting the entertainment, the satisfaction that I want out of my meal. And it's hard to learn that your food should be fuel and not entertainment, because, humans have long made it entertainment. Things are all centered around that. And, we've got TV shows about it, and, schools on how to learn how to do it, and books all about how to do it. So, I can understand the idea, but I think that really, when you're worried about variety, what you really need to do is stop and think about what it is that you're actually worried about. Is it variety, or is it, the endorphin high that you want instead? And Marshall did complain that he had kind of a hard time, riding in his car with his family, and they're all eating the fries in the back, and it smells like French fries, and everybody loves French fries. I sometimes would go to the fast food joint and just get a big supersized thing of French fries. And so, I totally know how rough it can be. It's really hard when your family is not on board with you, and I'm not sure. I guess they think that they're doing just fine. That's what my family seems to be. They're like, I don't need to do that because, I'm not fat like you or diabetic like you. And it makes it really tough. If for nothing else, you would think that maybe they would help out. And I'm talking about my own family here, complaining about that, not complaining about Marshall's, just in case you're feeling bad. Just help out. They know that I'm in a bad state. And if I don't do something, things will be worse. They'll just continue to get worse. And then, it'll probably be the end of me. And I joke about that sometimes. Oh yeah, well, when I die soon and all this kind of stuff. And my daughter doesn't like it when I joke that way, but it's not enough to change her, stop her from saying, hey, when you're at the dollar store, will you get me a soda too? Because they're at the dollar store, and they're, that's way cheaper than usual. Although dollar store has gone up to $1.25. It doesn't stop them from asking me to pick them up candy or soda or whatever. It doesn't stop them from baking cakes and cookies and brownies and crap. That stuff just keeps on going as usual. And, you I guess, are just supposed to be able to deal with it. And that's really hard. And, if you can possibly, get your family to join you in this quest, I would recommend it because it'll make things so much better if you can take this journey together. And you'll all be better for it. You'll all be healthier and happier. Even if you aren't fat already, you'll still be healthier. Even if you're athletic already, you'll still be healthier. If you switch to carnivore, it is the healthiest, the human diet. And I don't know if I said anything worthwhile there, but I'll be back again very shortly with another update on this 30-day carnivore challenge. We've made it 13 days in, and we're doing great. So I will see you back with another 5 days or so sometime soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time on Big Anklovich on Health.